Okay, my purpose here today is essentially to re-maiden the Super Cub. And to be honest, I'm pretty dubious about it. I've put a brushless motor on it. I was dithering about doing it for a while. I've done what I can. Maybe it's not a very big brushless motor, but even so, it's probably going to use more power than the old brushed motor. I'm still at the moment trying to run off the old, it's not the same ESC, but it's the same, makes a nice different tune to the old one. It's actually got a 40 amp ESC in, basically because that was the only one I could find that had the wire has to come all the way down through a channel here to get sort of from the compartment to the motor, and this 40 amp ESC was the only one I had that had a wire that was long enough. I also put like Beaver. Those are the wheels that Flyzone sell for their Beaver, much bigger wheels on it. And I've got lead on the nose because it balanced too far back. Otherwise, the old brushed motor and gearbox were pretty heavy, and the new brushless motor I've got in is quite a bit lighter. So I'm not too confident about how this is going to fly, honestly. I've tried to put the center of gravity about where I think it should be, about 2 1/4, round about where these marks are, about 2 1/4 inches back from the front of the wing. I'm also, because I haven't cut out the battery compartment, I'm still trying to run it off the old battery. There's a bit of wind here as well. This is the Club Westfield. Honestly, I like the east one slightly better. I mean, we're hemmed in by cornfields here, so now, and the corn's well grown up, so you go down in the cornfield, it's going to be a bugger to find a thing in it. And we got rather a lot more trees than I care for right around the runway. So, it's also considerably warmer than I care for. I like it when it's, cooler. I don't favour the hot part of the day. Okay, so the wind is cutting across the runway a little bit, but mainly coming from the west end of the runway. So I've only got a 1300, the original battery that came with this Cub in it, 1300 milliamp hour, 3-cell, which I'm afraid, even if everything works, isn't going to run that brushless motor for very long. But let's see. I'm going to run it maybe, I've got 5 minutes on the timer, but ideally I want to run it, see if everything works for 3 or 4 minutes and then see. Whoa. Now that's weird. In a way. Is it maybe a bit tail heavy? Because it feels way less stable than it used to feel with the old brushed setup. And it's the same plane. So why would it be? Ooh, and that sun, I don't want to go into that sun. Whoa, blimey. Well, 'cause it's just going to blind me totally. It's really bright and hot. I don't like being out in the bright, hot, sunny part of the day, honestly. I'd much rather, that's why I like to fly in the early morning when it's cool, even if it's a bit overcast, I like it better. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too far. If I go too far east, I'm running into problems with the trees.
Time remaining.
Whew, it's hot. But if I go west, that's 4 minutes out of 5, so I've flown for just over a minute. It's not flying too badly, although honestly, to me, it feels as if it's not flying as well as it was with the old brush setup. Not that it's got less power. It's probably got a bit more power. Whoa, it's way too hot for my liking. This I don't like being outside in the hot weather. I don't think it's so hot that it's going to cause a problem for the plane. The air is somewhat cool and whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's really does have that much more power than it had with the old brush setup. It doesn't make as much blithering noise, but, it doesn't Don's got like a 15 size motor, like the Apprentice motor in his, and of course that drives it around like crazy. And I would have cheerfully put one of those in if I got it, but I ain't paying $100 to buy one to put in it. I would cheerfully put one in, but I'm not going to buy a 15 size motor to put in this old plane for $100. So I put in a motor I had. I forget what do they call it, an A2212, something like that, 1400 kV motor. It's the one I had, well, I had it in a little ARF Cessna, which I could never particularly fly properly, and I eventually, it's a buzzard, ended up crashing and breaking totally into pieces, irrecoverably pretty much, so I took it out of that, and in fact I've got the motor mount from that old Cessna in as well. Now the wind's getting up as if we needed any more problems. I've got the motor mount from that old Cessna sort of attached to the front of the motor, the motor mount of the car. I took the brushed motor. Don said he just attached his motor with a piece of plywood straight to the front of the old mount, but then I guess his motor was massively bigger than mine. Mine would have been way behind the cowl if I'd done anything like that. So what I did was I took the, how many minutes was that left? Oh, we should be thinking of landing. Because we're going to run out of battery power. That's only a 1300 milliamp hour battery in there. It's the original, one of the original Cub batteries. One of the batteries that was sold with this Cub when it was first new is what that is. Oh, I kind of stubbed it into the ground there. If I'd have pulled the nose up, I suspect he would have run along the grass okay with that, but I was intent on bringing him down and I rather stubbed him into the grass. With the old wheels, he always used to fall over. He did always fall over with the old wheels, but I thought with these, if I'd landed him level, he probably would have been able to run. Although he is maybe a bit nose heavy, I don't know. And this landing gear also, it's kind of springy. It doesn't hold up very well. You land on it, it tends to splay. We'll see. Well, he's up, he's down. I want to see how much there is left in that battery. Well, that was actually, I brought him down a little ahead of what I intended to there. That was only 3.5 minutes, that flight. But better a short flight that lands than a long flight that runs out of battery in midair.
Throttle cut off. Throttle cut on.
Always believe in double checking my throttle cuts on. I do not want to whack myself in the hand. Ooh, now that's interesting. For some reason, the battery has come out. Now I don't know why that would be. It probably was a bit unglued before, because it's not like I put any more weight there. I don't know why the battery compartment's trying to detach itself from the plane. Okay, yes, I know that, with 3.5 minutes, so you can turn that off. Okay. So let's see let's see if we can see what happened to the battery. Hard in this bright sun, 11.6. Yeah, see, that was only 3.5 minutes. And it's down to a storage charge, basically. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably just leave the thing alone, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do now, because that's, so you really wouldn't, you would barely want to be flying 5 minutes with that battery with this setup. Now, I don't know, I've got to look into what people do. I suppose they take the back of that battery box out and things. I've also got to glue it in, I guess. It seems to be, for some reason, it's coming out here, so I don't know why, but we'll see if we can glue it down, and then we'll, I don't know, think about what we can do about trying to get a bigger battery in, but that's going to throw the center of gravity off more again. Sometimes I wonder why I bother, but we'll see. I think that's really all I'm going to do now. I just wanted to try him out. Yeah, I'm not even, the only other thing I've got with me are those little FPV planes, and I don't think I want to muck around with those in this heat and wind and whatever. No, I just wanted to see if this guy would actually fly and where we were at with the battery and things on him.